my name is Luis and welcome to the Dynamic Chromebox Commercial 2 webcast. I'm Sales Manager in the DACH region and this is Arco.
Hi, I'm Arco de Vos. I'm Field Application Engineer for EMEA region. Later in the webcast, one of our software partners, DynamicScreen, will be joining as well.
Today we're going to discuss the specs of our Chromebox Commercial 2, our new device in our portfolio. We'll have more topics, for example, how Chrome OS can benefit you. We'll also have a case study with DynamicScreen and what they did with AOPEN in a joint venture.
On the bottom of the screen, you will see a Q&A button. At the end of the webcast, we will be answering all the questions.
Let's discuss the main features of the Chromebox Commercial 2. It can run 4K, right?
Yeah, it can certainly run 4K. It can run 4K at 60 Hz on one screen. Or if you need two screens, it can do 4K at 30 Hz.
That's very impressive, especially it's the first commercial-grade Chrome device that runs 4K and everything fanless.
Yeah, correct. The fanless design actually helps it to be placed in greasy and dusty environments. And the lack of a fan also makes it very silent, of course.
So you can run it in restaurants, in dusty environments, and it runs 24/7. That's very impressive. The next thing is it runs Chrome OS.
Yeah, Chrome OS is actually very secure. And because you're running Chrome OS, you can also use the Chrome Device Management, which is a console which helps you manage your devices.
And what exactly are the differences between the Chromebooks One and Two?
Well, the Chromebox Commercial 2 has a new chipset, so it's a newer generation, and it is slightly bigger and some different I/Os.
That's interesting. Can you give us a little bit more details on that?
Sure, I'll do an unboxing.
Okay,
Be right back.
we'll be back.
These are two of our 4K screens. It's now running 2x 4K just beautifully. So let's do the unboxing. Let's move it over. Comes in a normal blend brown box. This is our Chromebox. We've got two flavors. We've got the Celeron and we've got an i3 version. The Celeron comes with a 65 watts adapter and the i3 with a 90 watts adapter. Power cord, of course. Then we also supply two L brackets, which can be mounted on the side, so you can just put it anywhere. The screws for the brackets. Then we've got two antennas. And we also supply a bracket for the power plug, so it can be secured in place. It's empty. We have the main feature, which is the Chromebox Commercial 2. And there it is. Let's have a look at all the I/Os of the Chromebox Commercial 2. First, we've got the power button with a blue light when it's on. Then we have the audio combo port and two USB 3 ports. Then on the back, we've got the two antennas, the power plug and a screw to secure the power plug. We've got a network interface. And because this is the Celeron version, it's got two USB 2 ports and one USB 3 ports. The i3 version has three USB 3 ports. We've got HDMI and also a way to secure them and another HDMI. Then we have a RJ50 port, which can be used for the serial port. And a little bit extra is an extended power switch, which can be used when you put the Chromebox Commercial 2 in a kiosk, or for instance.
Thank you, Arko. So that was the unboxing. Now, from a technical point of view, why would you recommend the Chromebox Commercial 2 to customers?
Well, the Chromebox Commercial 2 is actually our first system with HDMI 2.0, at least the Chrome device. Because it has HDMI 2.0, it can also do 4K at 60 Hz, which is a big plus. It also has a new chipset. It comes with a Celeron or an i3, and the i3 is of the 8th generation, so it's a really new chipset. Besides that, it's our first commercial device that can support Android as well, which is a big plus.
That is a very, very big plus.
Why would you recommend it?
I would also recommend it because of the Android system. Most of our customers use app-based programs and they only run on Android, or way better on Android. So now that we have it, it's a very big plus. They just run smoothly, especially with a strong i3. We don't have any problems there. The second part is if you want to use a kiosk system in a dusty or greasy environment, you can do that now because it doesn't have a fan. And I think a very big plus as well is digital signage. Chrome OS device management and 4K 2 times, for example, is a very big plus. You can just use it on multiple screens, big screens, small screens, everything.
Yep, true.
And now we are gonna look at a case study from AOPEN and DynamicScreen. See you in a minute.
Alors l'idée de départ en fait c'était d'avoir une possibilité d'affichage pour nos élèves au-delà de l'affichage type affiche, envoi d'informations par mail, etc. Donc pour nous il fallait une solution complémentaire et étant une école du numérique on s'est dit pourquoi ne pas installer des écrans et du coup de l'affichage dynamique et c'est ce pourquoi nous avons sollicité différentes sociétés pour l'affichage dynamique. Tout d'abord, pour les relations humaines, effectivement, DynamicScreen, nous les connaissions déjà. On a la chance d'avoir un ingénieur diplômé de l'école qui fait partie de la société. Après, également parce que la solution nous semblait correspondre complètement à ce que nous recherchions, avec un logiciel facile d'utilisation, une possibilité aussi de contact très rapide avec les administrateurs système qui nous répondent très vite en cas de problème. Voilà, c'est une solution qui nous paraissait complètement en adéquation avec ce que l'on recherchait. Donc au niveau des retours, effectivement, comme je le disais, on a des retours très positifs, que ce soit côté personnel, mais également côté étudiant. Les étudiants, ce sont notre cible principale au niveau de l'implantation de ces écrans. Donc du coup, il y a un vrai intérêt à diffuser de l'information pour eux, et notamment tout ce qui est aussi information vie associative, puisqu'ils passent aussi par nous pour diffuser des événements, etc.
Welcome back. This was an example about what an AOPEN device can do when it joins forces with one of our software partners, for example, DynamicScreen.
This case study and other case studies are available on our YouTube channel. That's AOPEN EMEA.
And now we want to hear a little bit more about DynamicScreen and what they can do for you.
My name is Simon. I'm the CEO and co-founder of DynamicScreen. We are a startup based in France with 2 offices, one in Paris and one in Bordeaux. We are creating a digital signage software that is focusing on displaying the right content at the right time. We have used our previous experiences in web application development to create the next generation digital signage software. We work with several types of clients, from retailers that want to contextualize their promotional message to connected factories that use DynamicScreen to optimize their workflow. In this presentation, I will highlight some of our key features and use cases. So, DynamicScreen is a smart digital signage software. We have 4 main features. We have plug and play. So when you receive a player with DynamicScreen, you just plug it on your display and you can broadcast content in minutes. We are connected. That means we can display real-time data on your display, like the weather, like the number of people in the building, like KPIs or the real-time orders. We are flexible, which means we can display some basic data like the weather or Twitter feed, but we can connect to your business-specific data, like your real-time orders for a restaurant or the next shipments for a factory or any kind of business-specific data. And we are really simple to use. As you're going to see in the demo, we have a really intuitive interface. So you don't need any training to start broadcasting content to your screen. So in this demo, I will highlight 4 of our features. Our fleet management feature, our dashboard, for example, how you can broadcast content and real-time content. And then we're going to end by showing our new web editor to create custom templates and how you can create your own scenarios in a few clicks. So let's switch to the demo. So when you get your credentials, you'll have access to a personal interface that is called your space. In your space, you're going to be able to connect your display and start creating content. So for example, here I have a Chromebase from AOPEN that is fresh, so it's just been shipped with the DynamicScreen software, and I'm going to associate it to my space. So I just have to get the code, the association code displayed on the Chromebase, and then switch to my space. So I go to Screens, Associate a Player, and I just have to enter the code DF4G4Y, and then click Next. And now I just have to enter the details of the screens. So the name, for example, a demo AOPEN Webcast. I can add more details and then save. My screen is now associated to my DynamicScreen space in real time. So as I can see, I have all the details of my screen available online. So now I'm going to start broadcasting content to this new display. So I go to Playlist. Playlist is a group of content that you want to show on one or more screens. So I'm going to create a new playlist. I'm going to call it Demo AOPEN, Create, and then I'm going to add content to this screen. So I click on Add Content, and there I can see all the available content in my space. So I have the classic one, like a message, if you want to display some text on your screen, image, video, PDF. You can also show a YouTube video. And then you have already some real-time data, like the weather, like Twitter feed, or if you want, you can also show a web page on the display. I'm going to add a picture and add from library. I'm going to choose one image from the library, choose. So in this screen, you have all the settings of your content. Each content has its own settings. In this one, I just choose the picture I want to show. I name the content, demo image, and then I can save this content. So now I have a playlist with some content in it, and now I'm going to broadcast it on some of my displays. So I go to Target Display, Add a Display, and then here I can choose which display are going to show this playlist. So here I want to show it on Demo AOPEN Webcast, and I click Link. And automatically it's going to update the display with the content of this playlist. All of this is done in real time. It can be a display anywhere in the world. It's going to be updated automatically when you add new content to this playlist. Okay, so you have seen that you can add content to your playlist, but keep in mind that the available contents can be extended to be anything that you need as a business specific case. For example, you can add data source, and that can be like your real-time orders or your next meetings or any kind of content that you want to display. So really, we have a really open solution that you can extend to show what you need. So the next feature I want to show you is what we call the designer. The designer is going to let you create templates, which are a custom slide that you can create online. So I click on New Template, I set the name, Demo Template, and Create. Then you have an interface that looks a bit like PowerPoint that is going to let you create content online. So you can add text, for example, hello. You can add a picture here that can be from the library projects. So you can resize it. You can add shapes like circle or square, and you can choose a color. So you can really create the design that you want, all of that online inside DynamicScreen. So what would be interesting next would be to connect some of that content to a real-time data source. So you don't have to come back every day or every week just to update some text or some picture. So we are going to add a new data source to your space, and then we are going to connect this data source to your custom template. So I'm going to go to the settings, then data source, and add new data source. Here I can choose one of the available data source. So it can be a CSV, it can be a calendar, but it can also be any kind of data source that you have in your company. So you could have here a button called real-time orders, for example, or database, or CRM. It can be any data source that you have. Okay, so I'm going to name it Demo Data Source AOPEN Webcast, then CSV, and next. So now I have to choose the spreadsheet I want to upload. So I have one demo spreadsheet, which is a list of meetings that are going to happen in my meeting room. So I shall change some settings, I create next, and now I have one new data source that is using this spreadsheet to import content in my space. If I update my spreadsheet, it's going to automatically update the data source in DynamicScreen. So now I can come back to the designer, choose my template, and now I want that my text here that says hello, I want it to be linked to one of my columns in my data source. So I choose my field, I choose data source. I have multiple data sources in my space, but I want my demo data source AOPEN Webcast. And then I want it to be the day or the contact name of my spreadsheet. And if I want to show the date, I can add another text field, choose data source, and say that I want it to be the day column in my spreadsheet. All right. So now if I update the spreadsheet, is going to automatically update my template with the new data. And I don't have to come back to the designer, change the text manually. I have only one single source of truth in my company, which is my database. Okay, now I'm going to add this template to my screen so you can see how it's done. So I go back to playlist, I go to demo and open, okay, add content, and then I choose template as content. I have a new settings screen that is specific to this content, and I'm going to choose my demo template here. I add a name for the content, demo template, and then I save. And now it's gonna start broadcasting my template on my screen in real time. I have two content, so it's going to switch back and forth between my two contents in my playlist. Okay, so now you know how with DynamicScreen you can broadcast content to your display fleet. Now, to finish, I want to highlight our latest feature, which is called Experiences by DynamicScreen. Experiences lets you create a complex workflow to automate your daily task in digital signage. So for example, we have a content generation engine that is going to be able to create automatically content based on a workflow you create. For example, you have a display that is located next to a product, and you know the stock of this product in each of your store because you connected the data. DynamicScreen is going to be able to create a promotion based on parameters that you set if the stock is high, for example, in one store. So in this store, it's going to add a content that you created on the designer and only in this store. So for example, a promotion for the product because you have a high stock in this product. You can also do some conditional broadcasting. What I mean is, for example, you can know if a woman is next to your display and if it's 3 p.m. between 5 p.m. and automatically broadcast targeted content to your displays based on parameters that you set up in Experiences by DynamicScreen. Yeah? So all of this is made possible thanks to our open architecture that is going to aggregate real-time data from lots of different types and then in a really intuitive interface lets you create conditions, parameters and workflows that is going to be applied to your display fleet. We're going to have some Q&A now. I want to thank AOPEN for inviting us to this webcast, and don't hesitate to reach if you have any question, any further question. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup, DynamicScreen, and I hope you learned a little bit about our Chromebox Commercial too.
Well, thank you for watching.